Hi, it's good to be back. If it's your first time here, welcome on board and thanks for joining in. Today, we will be exploring the topic, the August visitor. Let's get started. It was just between 2 to 3 p.m. on a Sabbath afternoon. I was just about having my special Sabbath nap. After having my very special Sabbath lunch, fufu, a correct egusi soup. If I mention good meat, now the pastor might just call for an emergency church board meeting after church. So let's just skip that part, okay? All right. So my phone rang, and it was my wife on the other end. When I picked the call, the boys were screaming so loud, like their life depended on it. So I inquired what the matter was. And right here is a brief summary of what happened. So, my wife had washed the boys, fed them, dressed them up in their best outfit for church. She had had a very interesting week and could not wait to get to church with the boys. So they all got in the car and drove off as usual. But just a few miles away from church, she began to perceive something. It was not pleasant. But she managed to get to the church parking lot. And behold, after investigation, she realized it was Kemuche, the second boy. It's just about two. He had done number two, and he messed up his outfit. Now, thankfully, before leaving the house, in anticipation that this would happen, she had her fully equipped mama's toolbox with diapers, wipes, a change of clothes, and so much more. And in no time, Kemu was clean again and back in fresh clothes. And church was fun. You see, when God made man, He also gave him the freedom of choice. With this gift came the possibility of either choosing right or wrong. So as God gave this gift to man, from the very beginning, He also initiated a corresponding mitigating blueprint for the redemption of man should he choose wrong. At the core of this plan is God Himself taking responsibility for our wrong. Paul puts it this way: the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. Part of this plan required the excruciatingly painful Calvary experience, where the same very God who created and sustains the galaxies willingly submitted Himself to humiliation, torture, and a gruesome death to take responsibility for our wrong choices, just so that we can make it home. If the value of an asset is how much you are willing to pay for it, this right here, the life of God, is the value that God has placed on you. Don't forget that. What to remember from this cross experience? The cross shows us one, the magnitude, the sinfulness of sin, and the real cost of atonement for sin. We cannot afford to trivialize sin, even if the society does. 2, it shows us how far God is willing to go to get us home, even at His own expense. Think about it. If God is willing to go this far to give us a chance, is there really anything else that He will not be willing to do for us today? While you're still thinking, next week we will be exploring the topic death defeated. I remain your Sabbath Doodle, and I'll see you next Sabbath. Happy Sabbath.